What is up, my friends? So, American Horror Story Apocalypse is on its fifth episode already. We have 3 episodes to go before the series finale, which comes out on Halloween Day. So, pretty excited for that. But what the hell did just happen? So, I haven't made a video on American Horror Story since the first episode, and I've been wanting to, but main thing I've been forgetting to, or by the time I make the video, it's already too late, and I feel like we're already on the next episode. So, I think that I'm just going to do an episode right now, like a video on it. And then, unless some batshit crazy things happens in episode 6, I'm going to wait till the season finale and see where we're at. So in the first video, I talked about how we were introduced to Michael Langdon, and I was like, okay, let's see who Michael Langdon is. And sure enough, if you do some digging, if you watched any American Horror Story, especially Murder House, you know Michael Langdon is the son of Vivian and Tate from Murder House. Now, Vivian, of course, was basically raped by Tate in that season, so this child was born out of that. Now, there were twins, but I believe one didn't make it, but Tate, well, not Tate, Michael was the one who made it, and we saw that Michael was not an average kid. Like, he was actually going to be evil, and many people are pointing out that he is the Antichrist, and as you can tell from various evidence throughout this season, he well may be the Antichrist. One episode in particular, he's talking to his father, and he's like on a pentagram of blood or whatever. And then in the latest episode, when he has to save Misty, who, by the way, the witches are back from Coven, and I was going to cover that because that was a big deal, but I just didn't make that video in time. But they're back, and apparently they're going to try to take down Michael. Now, in episode 4 and 5, we come to learn why the witches have this hunch and why they're going after Michael, because Michael is seen as a sort of warlock at this point in time, because we're looking in the past right now. The last 2 episodes have been in the past when Michael gets first introduced, and this was about 3 years prior to the events of Apocalypse. So the warlocks, they were like, Michael is the next Supreme. Of course, the witches, they were like, no way, a guy would never be a Supreme. Cordelia, Myrtle, and all of them are like, this is not the case. And then the warlocks get mad about this, but they're like, enough is enough. We're not doing the test of the 7 wonders on Michael. He is not the Supreme. Because in order to become the Supreme, you have to pass the 7 wonders test, which we find out in Coven, if you've seen it, that one of the witches, Misty, didn't make it out of that. And this is one of the reasons that Cordelia says she doesn't want to do it, is because she doesn't want any sacrifices anymore. The warlocks are like, bullshit, you're just scared of what's going to happen if Michael turns out to be the Supreme. Y'all just don't want to see a man run things. And then we see Cordelia's just like, fine, you want to do it, let's do it. She doesn't, however, does this like because she's just thinking about it. She does this because Michael overhears all of this conversation. He's like, all right, you want me to prove myself that I can handle this? Okay, I'm going to bring back 2 of your fallen sisters. So he brings back Queenie, who is stuck in Hotel Cortez. There's your Hotel Cortez connection right there. And then he goes to get Madison, who is stuck in her own personal hell. And when Cordelia sees this, she's just like, what the fuck? And she faints, actually. So then they're just like, okay, then. If Michael can pass the 7 tests, then he is going to be the next Supreme. So he does the first 6, no problem, no questions asked. And then for the 7th, he just has to descend into Descendum and then come back. But Cordelia is like, and you have to bring Misty back. And the warlocks are like, what the hell are you talking about? That was never part of the 7 wonders. And she's just like, I just had to know that he's going to be good because I had this vision. So Cordelia has this vision where she sees Michael, but I don't think that she realizes it's Michael, but she has a hunch it is, in his like demonic white face. And he's like sending some zombies out to kill her. She has no powers, and then she ultimately gets ripped apart by these zombies. So she's like, there's a great evil coming, and I need to know that he's going to be powerful enough to lead us into this new war and world that's coming. This wasn't a nightmare. This was a vision. The warlocks get pissed off still. They say that's bullshit. You're just trying to do this so he doesn't pass. But Michael's like, hey, guys. I can do this. Hold my beer, you know? And then he goes into the Descendum, or the Hell, whatever you want to call it. He brings back Misty, and Misty is now back with the witches. And she tells Cordelia that she has a suspicion that Michael is not a warlock, but something actually evil. And the reason because of this is because when she was in her personal hell, he started talking to like the demonic entities around him, and they started to talk back to him like they were whispering or aiding him in some way. Cordelia brushes it off as that he was just negotiating with them for her release, But Misty's like, no, this is more than that, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't normal. Cordelia says that she does have a suspicion on Michael, and she's had it from the beginning. This is the reason she has him bring back all of her sisters, her witches, so in any case something does end up happening, they can all fight back. She then wants to send Madison to go back to the murder house where Michael's origins are from, as I said earlier in the episode that you're listening to right now, and she wants her to investigate exactly what's going on. One of the warlocks, Behold, listens to this, and he's like, you're not going to go there by yourself. If you're going to go get answers, I want answers too. Cordelia asks if he's gonna tell Michael, and he's like, I'm not, because I do have a suspicion about him, but I want to be sure as well. So I'm just going to go on my own and investigate as well. Madison and Behold then at the end of the episode go to find out what exactly is going on, and we see the murder house pop up for the first time, and holy fuck, 3 more episodes. How are they going to wrap it up? I'm super excited for what comes next. I believe the next episode is called Traitor, so that's going to be interesting to see what this all means, and I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be directed by Sarah Paulson as well, so I'm not sure if this is her first episode she's directed, but super excited to see what she brings to the table. But here's my wild guess and my theories. I truly believe that Michael is not a warlock. I mean, we can all pretty much assume that. We know he is something more evil. Now, if he is the Antichrist, I don't know for sure, but it all is leading that he might be. And one thing that we're all forgetting as well, that in episode 4 and 5 they've covered, is that Mallory is not a normal witch either. And that's because I think she's not a witch at all. Now, what I do think that she is a sort of second coming of Christ, or a really powerful angel, and she just doesn't know it yet, and maybe was sent there in this human vessel and sort of like blinded until the right time came. And I think that that time is coming. As we see in episode 3, she lashes out back at Michael in the episode, so she's pretty much up there in his powers. So it's safe to say we're in for a pretty big showdown once this episode next one concludes, or by the end of the season. That's gonna be all out war possibly, so I'm pretty excited to see that. Cordelia has already hinted at that by saying that she needs all her sisters back with her. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly where this season leaves and where we go now. Now, this season has connected to every season except Cult, Freak Show, and Asylum. So it's going to be interesting if in the next coming episodes we have any connection to those. Now, in the present day, we are still in Halloween. So another theory that I have is that the witches are only able to come back now, and that all the witches are dead actually. But they're able to come back and fight, so they don't have a lot of time to fight Michael. So that could be very well one of the reasons that when they bring back the witches to life, such as Coco and Mallory, or whoever they are, they're just like, we need all the help we can. So I'm pretty excited. I'm super excited to see what's going to happen next. I truly believe Apocalypse has turned into a far better show than Roanoke was for sure, Cult, and just up there almost with Coven and Murder House. So I'm super excited for that. I think it will also be interesting to see that once Madison and Behold are in Murder House, we're going to see any signs of Tate, of Violet, or anything in particular that's going to have even more of a connection to what's actually going on, and I hope we get the answers we want. Another popular theory floating around is that Mallory is that other twin, as I said in the beginning of the video, that died alongside Michael, and that very well could be the case. Maybe was brought back by some divine entity that saw it fit as being the only one that could take down the Antichrist, that is Michael. Or maybe we're just jumping to conclusions and Mallory is her own person, angel, second coming of Christ, as I said. But it's for damn well sure that Mallory is indeed actually not going to be like this. Like, I don't think that Mallory is the witch or supreme. I do think that she's something more than that, and it's going to be interesting to see what comes next from the witches once they find this out. Or maybe Cordelia already knows, and this is why she's had such a close eye on her and saving her from that fiery plane crash that could have happened in Apocalypse. So I don't know. What are your theories? As I said, I believe Michael is the Antichrist. I believe Mallory is some divine entity from heaven, whether it's the second coming of Christ or whether she is just a really powerful angel. It's going to be interesting to see what comes next out of all of this. American Horror Story Apocalypse is 3 episodes in from the end. I think the last episode is called Sojourn, and that basically means like immigrant, outsider. So I'm thinking if that means that this is the episode where maybe Michael gets banished or something, and I don't know. I'm really curious to see exactly where Ryan Murphy is taking the show and where it's all going to wrap up by the end of the season, because 3 episodes is not that long unless they're like an hour and a half or an hour and 15. but super interested in seeing what the last 3 episodes bring. What do you think, however? Do you think Michael is the Antichrist or just a demon? Do you think Mallory might be some divine entity, or is she just a really, really powerful witch and the next Supreme? Let me know in the comments below. American Horror Story this Wednesday. Super pumped. Cannot wait. Let me know your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that like, hit that share, hit that comment, all that good stuff. I'll see y'all next time. As always, stay positive, my friends.